Good morning. I'm Travis Anderson, and I'm a proud member of this church and the Men's Fellowship. Our opening words are by Jennifer J. Brooks. Each Sunday, we light the chalice of our religious heritage. We do this for our ancestors who taught us through their various religious traditions and by their actions for justice and hope. We do this for our children who are learning the traditions we teach and who learn more from our actions than our words. We do this for ourselves so that we are inspired to remember our beginnings, reflect on who we are now, and spread our wings as we understand who we seek to become. Welcome to worship this morning.
Con espíritu de reverencia, reconocemos que nos juntamos en la tierra de los Kumeyaay. Al encender esta vela, reafirmamos nuestro compromiso de cultivar relaciones significativas con los habitantes de esta tierra y de trabajar juntos por justicia y la equidad. In a spirit of reverence, we acknowledge that we gather on the land of the Kumeyaay. As we light this candle, we affirm our commitment to cultivate meaningful relationships with the people of this land and to work together for justice and equity.
Good morning. My name is Mike Dorfey, also a member of the Men's Fellowship. I had a wonderful opportunity about 20 years ago to spend a week with Robert Bly, one of the men's movement leaders. And during that week, he had an African elder join us for the ritual on Saturday night. This particular tribe of Dagara in Western Africa had this incredible connection with their ancestors. They spoke with them, they had a visceral connection with them, and he taught us this chant. It's in three parts. It starts off on a single note. Grandfather, grandfather, we are calling. Grandfather, grandfather, we are calling. Come, come, come. Second verse goes up the scale a little bit. We are calling all the fathers. We are calling all the fathers who have come before. And the third one jumps the scale a little bit. We are calling all the brothers. We are calling all the brothers who have gone before. Let's go through this several times. Grandfather, grandfather, we are calling. Grandfather, grandfather, we are calling. Come, come, come. We are calling all the fathers. We are calling all the fathers who have gone before. We are calling all the brothers. We are calling all the brothers who have gone before. Grandfather, grandfather, we are calling. Grandfather, grandfather, we are calling. Come, come, come. We are calling all the fathers. We are calling all the fathers who have gone before. We are calling all the brothers. We are calling all the brothers who have gone before.
Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Diego, where we worship each Sunday in the South Bay and Hillcrest and online. Our mission is to create community, nurture spiritual growth, and act on our values to help heal the world. I am Jim Hurtado. I use the pronouns he and him, and I am the co-convener of the Men's Fellowship. Members of the Men's Fellowship are leading worship this morning in honor of Father's Day. If you are visiting, I want to extend to you a special welcome. I invite you to fill out the visitor's form in your order of service and return it in the welcome table, to the welcome table. And if you're joining us online, you can also fill out a visitor's form at the link on the live stream page or in the YouTube service description. We would love to connect with you. If you have been coming for a while and are starting to feel like this is your spiritual home, consider becoming a member of this beloved community. If you would like to explore what it means to be a member or have questions about the membership process, you are invited to meet with Newt Ferris right here at the front of the meeting house after the service.
Welcome to this space. Bring all of who you are, in all the beauty of languages, cultures, and skin tones that come together in your uniqueness. You are welcome here, in all the ways you experience and express gender. You are welcome here, in the beauty that is who you love and how you love. You are welcome here, in all the ways you live, move, and experience your embodied self. You are welcome here, with all the religious and ethical traditions that inform your spiritual life. You are welcome here. Together, may we live into our shared values with love at the center. It is good to be together. I invite you to rise and bow to your spirit and join in our church hymn and aspiration.
Good morning, friends. I'd like to invite any of the children or youth who'd like to come up and join me and my friend Travis for the Time for All Ages. Oh, good morning. You can come over here if you want, or you can stay over there, either way. And while they're finishing coming up, a few words about today and the story we have. You know, we're celebrating Father's Day today. And these gender-based holidays, Father's Day, Mother's Day, we know can be complicated for a lot of us. And typically, when you think about gender, our approach to dealing with all the shoulds and the musts and the stereotypes that are sometimes unhealthy is to sort of level that playing field and say maybe these ideas of what it means to be this or that are just sort of constructs. Maybe they're made up. And I think that works for some of us. For others, I think it's important to explore who they are and all of who they are, meaning their gender too. And so this book takes a little bit of a different approach than we would normally say. And rather than try and dismiss the idea of male or female altogether, man and woman, this leans into, if you really want to explore what it means to be a man, how might you do that in a healthy way? And so this is Travis reading for us, How to Be a Real Man.
All right, good morning, friends. How to Be a Real Man by Scott Stewart. The Vikings were a horrid bunch, way back in ancient days. To be a man meant you struck fear in many different ways. They fought all day and fought all night, then fought some more again. But I don't think the Vikings made particularly good men. Pirate men were smelly. They were loud and they were mean. They stole from ships and buried gold, but kept their long beards clean. Some people think that pirates were manly men indeed, but I don't think those mean old pirates really did succeed. The Spartans, they were soldiers whose lives were strict and hard. Their food was plain, their houses bare, their bodies lean and scarred. They lifted weights and trained all day and never took a rest. They might have been extremely strong, but I doubt they were the best. Lots of men from different times and lots of different places. Lots of men with different clothes and different kinds of faces. Of all the lessons taught through time, there's one that's persevered. To be a mighty man that others idolize and fear, you have to act real tough and always be ready to fight. Be strong and mean so all can see your power and your might. Guess what, guys? We don't agree with that. Now I think it's time for change. New ways to be a man. New ways that you can live your life and do the best you can. To be a man, the greatest man, you must learn how to fight. But not for gold or territory. You fight for what is right. To be a man is to be strong, the strongest in the land, but not at lifting great big things. You're strong with helping hands. Men should be nice to those in need and show them they belong. Men should always say they're sorry when they're in the wrong. Lots of men try to pretend their feelings are not there. They won't laugh or cry or act surprised or show that they are scared. When you feel fear, as all men do, you're allowed to shriek or squeal. The bravest thing that you can do is show others how you feel. Real men wear the things they like and do what makes them smile. Whether that's to swim or box or chop or build or style. They start new things, they think new thoughts. Don't quit until they're done. They shake all their opponents' hands, whether lost or won. They walk up great big mountains to see the clearest views. They're even good at walking miles in someone else's shoes. They say please and thank you. To themselves they do say stay true. But they still know how to listen to different points of view. So choose the man that you will be and choose the way you'll live. Choose the clothes that you will wear and choose the gifts you'll give. Choose to build big robots or choose to plant a tree. Choose to tell enchanted tales or dance for all to see. Choose the things that bring you joy and choose all that you can. Embrace the person that you are. You'll be the greatest man. Thanks, friends, for listening.
And thank you for choosing that book and for reading it to us. So my friends up here, if you could help us, we're going to stand up and lead the congregation in our affirmation. If you don't know it, don't worry about it. The rest of us will show you how to do it. We'll say it first in English and then in Spanish. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and welcoming hands. Somos unitarios, universalistas, personas de mentes abiertas, corazones amorosos y manos que dan la bienvenida. And now I invite any children or youth who'd like to join me and their other leaders out on the patio. We'll head to our groups.
A few special announcements this morning. Our lay minister is Elise Ford. If you have a joy or sorrow you'd like to share, look for Elise and the golden scarf on the patio after service. There's also a tour today. If you'd like to see some of the many gems of this beautiful campus, you can meet Marge Wergel right here after the service and when the postlude concludes. I also wanted to let you know that the Men's Fellowship is hosting a picnic tomorrow at 5:30 at Morley Field near the tennis courts. If you need more info or if you'd like to join, you can find more information at the Men's Fellowship table. There is a number of things happening today after service. In addition to patio and social hour and our tour, there is a drum meeting in room 114A. There's You the Vote in the common room, a gentle chair yoga class in room 323, and a women's retreat planning session in room 320. All that information is on the back of your order of service, and we hope that you'll find a way to connect. So glad you're here.
Good morning. My name is Andy French. I'm a member of this church and of this fellowship. I would like to invite you to think about the South Bay Pantry. One way we share our values is by sharing our offering with local organizations working for justice. In the month of June, our offering goes to our very own South Bay Pantry. Every week, the pantry provides physical nourishment to over 500 families. Just $1 provides 15 to 20 pounds of fresh produce, meat, dairy, and dry goods to our neighbors. The support and compassionate connection helps sustain our community so we can all thrive. You can donate through cash or check in the boxes at the back of the meeting house, or you can text 73256 with text to donate, or scan the code on the screen. Thank you for your generosity. The offering will now be gratefully received.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax and take it easy. You're still young. That's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. Take your time, think a lot, think of everything you've got. You will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. There's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. not time to make a change. Just sit down and take it slowly. Still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down if you want. You can marry, look at me. I am old, but I'm happy. All the times that I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside is hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree. Then they know not me. Now here's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
We now pause at this time in our service to honor the life and memory of Diana Denoyer. Diana was a quiet person, but with a really good sense of humor. She loved good food and a variety of music, and she spent her career working for the county and adult services. Diana had a small, close family that she stayed in touch with, and this church community, which she joined in 2009, was incredibly important to her. On Thursday, June 4th, Diana died after a long battle with multiple myeloma at the age of 81. We are sending our care to her family, her friends, and all those who are grieving. And so we light this candle in Diana's honor and memory. And to mark the weightiness of her loss, we extinguish the flame of our chalice, the symbol of our gathered community, because our company has been diminished by her loss. Yet the light of this community continues, and Diana's spirit lives on in the many among us who love her and will remember her. And so from her candle, we relight our chalice. This community of memory and hope shines on, and Diana lives among us in the heart's long memory. In mystery we are born, in mystery we live, and in mystery we die. Blessed be.
The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. Gather the dreamers and wake the dying. Now is the time to give birth to our dreams.
It does not interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing.
It does not interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool in your dreams for your adventure of being alive.
It does not interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, and if you've been opened or closed by the betrayals and have become shriveled and closed from the fear of further pain.
I want to know if you can be with joy, mine and your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning me to be careful, to be realistic, or to remember the limitations of being human.
It does not even interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself, and if you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. I want to know if you can be faithful and therefore be trustworthy.
I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and stand on the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the moon, saying, yes, yes.
It does not interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done for the children.
It does not interest me who you are, to know who you are, how you came to be here, or where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself, and if you truly like the company you keep in those moments.
Gather the dreamers and wake the dying. Now is the time to give birth to the dreams.
Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand by side. Draw the circle wide.
I invite you to join me in a time of meditation. If it feels good, you might lower your gaze or turn your attention inward. You might shift in your seat a bit and find the most comfortable position your body will allow today. And just take a moment to be with yourself exactly as you are today. Connecting with your mind. checking in with your heart or spirit. Being with your body. This day, this holiday, may bring up all sorts of feelings for you. A sense of joy or care for a father figure in your life. Perhaps loss or grief. Maybe even fear or trauma. Know that whatever you are feeling, whatever you are bringing with you, there is space for it here. Space to feel the caring embrace of this community. Being with you in this moment exactly as you are. Knowing you are loved and you are not alone. Amen.
I've been a member of this congregation and have been held by many men and boys that are sitting here this morning. My name is Maggie Marshall, and when I was asked by the men's group, such an honor to be asked to share some of my thoughts on the topic, I went home and I just tapped out quickly. Names just flew out of my fingers of memorable men and boys, not perfect ones, not ones I'd put on a pedestal, but that have left indelible heartprints in my life. Voices from every season who still echo in how I think and behave. I've never believed it was only age or family roots that had wisdom. Reviewing the names of the people on my list, I came up with the top 10. Those of you that are worried, I only selected one. And it was the people who loved him, called him Jackson. His name was John Alfred Marshall, and he was my dad. In the winter of his life, he gave me this book that he had written in his own handwriting. Just to give you a little peek. His own handwriting, his golden nuggets of life, things that he had called day-to-day reflections, and he gave it to me as a Christmas gift. They're thoughts about relationships, all kinds of relationships, insights, quotes, politics, mistakes. He would say when he fell short. I remember our Isaac Castro saying, it's when we fall short, how important it is, how we repair those relationships. and funny things. I was lucky I had a dad with a great sense of humor. Wanted just to read one brief passage. This is from my dad. For years, I took my glasses off while shaving, not able to see my face very well. Learning of this, my neighbor said, "Jackson, why don't you shave with your glasses on?" So believe it or not, I've been shaving with my glasses on ever since. Whoever said you couldn't teach an old dog new tricks? As a boy, my dad had read every book in the library in the town he lived in. And people had decided that he was the intellectual type. He saw himself as a gymnast, as a stuntman, and an adventurer. He would say, "Maggie, darling, try new things, step out of your comfort zone, let your interests expand." The people closest to you, who know you best, sometimes are wrong. He left England at 23 and never saw his mom again. That heartache he shared with me several times, and often at Christmas time. When those of you that are men and boys and teenagers who bear your souls, you are amongst our greatest teachers. And my dad, I must share this part, he couldn't tell a Phillips screwdriver from a wrench, but he could make a great cup of tea, always in a china teacup, mind you. And if you ask me privately later, I'll tell you the one other culinary skill he had. But he taught me a great deal about discrimination, about changing countries. And he pointed out injustices that we saw and felt. Those rarely went by. One I remember at a very young age, Uncle Eggy wasn't my uncle. He was one of my dad's dearest friends. And Dad explained to me one day when we were going to visit him, he lived with his mother, that people in those days called a special friend. He never made it complicated. It was just love. That was the first time I had heard the word homosexual. He sat me down once when I was acting like a little house ape, which he called me when I wasn't cooperating. "Your mother is going through the change. She needs our help and patience." And I could remember I was the only girl I knew whose father had started to explain different parts of life, of our changes. And in ICU, more than once, he said, "Maggie, death is simply a part of life." He made peace with mortality early. And that was a comfort to me. He found joy in difficult and painful days. He made tremendous adjustments and learned and leaned into the parts that worked. I witnessed that he loved my mother. Seeing love expressed may be our greatest gift to humanity. I'm grateful for the men and boys who helped guide my life, and for those of you right here in this congregation who've made me feel seen, appreciated, and safe enough to share my deeper thoughts. I'm going to blow you a kiss.
Jesus, my brother. I thank you, Maggie. This is the time where we're going to do some sharing, and as I was sitting here, I was thinking of a movie. There was an old cowboy says, "There's gold in them thar hills." Well, there's gold in this meeting house, and I'd like us to take an opportunity to explore and see if we can find a nugget or a fragment of some gold that's happened since the time we walked into the meeting house and this instant right now. So I'd like, if you feel comfortable, shut your eyes, consider yourself a gold miner, and you're standing in the riverbank, and below you is the stream. You're all by yourself. There's no one else there. You have your pan in your hand, and you kneel down or you squat down close to the water, and you reach in and you grab a handful of mud. And you hold that mud for just a moment, and that mud is going to represent the time that you have come into this room to this instant right now. And in that handful, there might be a nugget, there might be a fragment, there might be some gold in there. You put it into the pan and you swirl it around, put a little water in it, splash it out, and you're looking for that gold that you know sinks a little bit deeper into that pan. You're looking for something positive. You're looking for some purpose, some meaning, some value, something that's inspired you from the time you walked into the meeting house till now. Was it part of the song? Was it Ron's song? Was it the choir's song? Was it maybe a line in one of the poems or readings that we did? I want you to sift it out, drop the debris that's not valuable, and come to the point where you have a little speck of gold. Now I want you to take your hand, keep your hand in that pan, on the pan, dry your other hand off, get to the point where the gold is up at the top of the pan, and you reach in with your thumb and forefinger, and you look at that piece of gold, that little nugget, that little sense of purpose or meaning that's come to you during the time you've been in this room. Now you put the pan down and you dry your hand off, and you put that little speck in the palm of your hand, and with your other hand now you take out a little pouch of all of those nuggets and fragments of meaning and purpose, and you take and open up that pouch, drop your new one in there, close it off, and put the pouch back into your pocket. What is it that inspired you? What is it that gave you some introspection, some meaning, or some value just in the last course of 27 or 28 minutes? And now I want you to form two sentences. First one's quite easy, just my name is such and such. What a nice day. And the second sentence is going to be a brief explanation of that fragment that you just had. Could it be the song that we sang, or part of Maggie's sharing, something that came to us? So you're going to stand up in a second. You're going to look at a neighbor. You're going to say, my name is, and my little fragment was this element of the service so far, this element of this time period. And then that's all. I want not for you to go into any deep detail or analyzation of this fragment that you've picked up so far. And then the respondent would say, thank you for sharing, Bill, Judy, my name is, and my little fragment was. So could you stand up for a second and look to someone nearby you and say, hi, Dan, my name is, and what was the fragment? Okay, wonderful. If you could take a seat. You want to take it from here?
Why don't we bring the You want to bring? Why don't you come bring the chair?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to do it?
So good to hear you all connecting with each other, and our choir is going to come up, so I invite you to be seated.
Robert Bly, in his book Iron John, describes how the Industrial Revolution swept men away from their homes and into the factories, leaving their children without the regular presence of their fathers and the lessons and role modeling that came along with them. As Bly observed, in most families today, the sons and daughters receive, when the father returns home at 6, only his disposition or his temperament, usually irritable and remote. My grandfather, Andy, never knew his dad. Andy went on to serve in World War II and found a job managing a plastics factory. He masked the trauma of war through alcohol and television. Although my grandfather lived in the same house as his children, they experienced only his after-work temperament, irritable, remote, numbed. And so my own father grew up without feeling seen or nurtured by the man in his life. He tried to fill that hole by succeeding as a lawyer and community leader. It wasn't enough to fill it. James Hollis, in his book Under Saturn's Shadow, writes that each father's son must examine, without the motive to judge, where his father's wounds were passed on to him. Each father's son must ask himself, what were my father's wounds? What were his hopes, his dreams? Did he live out his dreams? Did he have emotional permission to live his life? I do not believe my dad has asked these questions or seen his own wounds or his father's, let alone tried to heal them. I recall camping with my father as a boy. I hated camping back then. One evening, we used a primitive shower and then hurried through the cold and dark to our tent. Once in my sleeping bag, I realized I was still covered in the powdery white camping soap, harsh, itchy, and irritating against my skin. I asked my dad for help, but he rolled away from me and told me to go to sleep. And so I lay there. A story can be written about my father from that moment, a story of neglect and disinterest. Indeed, I just wrote the story for you. But this moment in a tent, itchy and isolated, was also born of the best of intentions. My dad moved heaven and earth to take off work and camp with his son. He had large-hearted visions for me, for himself, for his family, and for his community. In his way, he sought to make me a man, to teach me something. He sought to father me. But he didn't know how to father in the small ways, the everyday ways. No one had showed him. I now have 3 children of my own, Caleb, Abby, and Jordan. And partly because of them, 2 years ago I left the path modeled by my father, dropped my own pursuit of larger-than-life career ambitions, and tried to be present with the struggle of daily living and fathering. Yesterday, we hosted an overnight playdate for Jordan and a friend. In the morning, they asked to use an inflatable pool. The pool was shriveled, dusty, and dry. I opened it and brought a leaf blower over to inflate it. This innovation, using a leaf blower to inflate the pool, was devised by my oldest son, Caleb, who figured this out after he and Jordan used their own money to buy the pool a few summers ago. I had been away at the time for work, but now I am here. I inflated the pool using Caleb's invention. Then it was time to fill the pool with water, but the hose was jammed. The nozzle had rusted shut. I eventually solved the problem by cutting the hose just below the nozzle. The water began to flow. I returned to writing this reflection. Soon after, Jordan's friend intruded on my writing flow to tell me water was flowing out of the pool. I confirmed the flimsy plastic barrier of the pool had indeed collapsed, and a cataclysmic amount of water was inundating the backyard. I asked Jordan to turn the hose off while I propped up the edge of the pool. Then, while Jordan and the friend held the barrier up, I reattached the leaf blower and inflated the pool more properly. This time, the levee held. Saturday was saved, for now. The details matter. Each twist and turn, each obstacle, each makeshift imperfect solution was experienced by me as a frustration, a sorrow, then a mild accomplishment, then a maddening setback. Is this fathering? Am I fathering myself? Am I modeling masculinity in a more sustaining, honest, vulnerable way? Am I teaching myself how to be, and by extension, teaching my children? I know I can't do any of this alone. I need the honesty and vulnerability of other people, other men. I need men of all ages willing to share their own doubts, stumbles, and reflections, and to lovingly receive mine. I need fathering to be a father. After the pool was restored, again, I returned to writing this reflection. Now I could focus. Then Abby, my daughter, approached me for a second time in as many minutes, and I responded by saying, "Not now, I really need to work on this." Her face fell, and when I tried to recover and invite her to share, the opportunity was lost. That may be a memory she recalls of me decades later, perhaps at a Father's Day reflection. And so the stumbling continues. I attempt to father again and again, and come up short again and again. I stumble constantly into unhealed, half-hidden parts of myself. I reach forward with high hopes for the future, surrounded always by my past. I am grateful for the men's fellowship, where men have helped father me, and I at times have helped father others. I hope to father some of you, and ask that you will father me, that we might stumble onward together. Thank you.
I invite you to rise, invite your spirit, and sing with us the closing hymn, 354.
We need to feel
We clasp the hands of those that go before us and the hands of those who come after us. We enter the little circle of each other's arms and the larger circle of lovers whose hands are joined in a dance. And the larger circle of all creatures passing in and out of life who move also in a dance to a music so subtle and so vast that no ear hears it except in fragments.